again, people of the internet. I'm Papa Jefe, and welcome back to my channel. It is a beautiful 70 degrees out today, and it's the middle of November, and that means that it's probably the last warm riding day of the year. Because believe it or not, even on the Gulf Coast, it does get a little cold in the winter. Doesn't mean that we put our bikes up for the winter, it just means that it gets cold and we have to change our riding gear. And so yeah, I'm enjoying one last opportunity to squid it a little bit. And Madre Jefe and I decided this is a great time for us to get out on a couples ride. Now this is not the first time we've actually gone on a ride together. The first time was about a week after she got the Iron 883, and we went up and down the highway just outside of our neighborhood to kind of give her an idea of what it feels like to go at higher speeds. So we're taking some back roads, some highways, and we're gonna head all the way out to Buckatunna, Mississippi. You may be wondering, Papa Jefe, what the hell is in Buckatunna, Mississippi? And the answer is not much of freaking anything. It's kind of the halfway point between here and where my parents live. I can't say it's a particularly fun ride because, well, it's back highways in Mississippi and Alabama, so it's super straight. But it's a great way for Madre Jefe to get used to taking longer rides. Buckatunna is a solid like 60, maybe 70 miles from here, and well, she's a new rider. She's still got kind of a delicate ass, so we're gonna break that in. But we're not gonna stay out for more than a couple hours because, well, we gotta get back here by 4 o'clock. I've got a D&D game to run. That's right, your boy Papa Jefe is a big old nerd. Yes, I don't just play Dungeons and Dragons, I run games. Freaking judge me, I don't care. I've been doing this long enough that my oldest campaigns are old enough to drink. And I thought that today, since we're going out on a ride as a couple, would be a great chance for me to address something that I keep hearing from guys who want to buy a motorcycle. They say, Papa Jefe, I really want to buy a motorcycle, but my wife won't let me. Now, I may not be a farmer, but I know bullshit when I smell it, and boy oh boy, when I hear that, is there something in the air. And it's always guys that tell me this. I've never heard a woman tell me, my husband won't let me buy a motorcycle. Generally speaking, when I'm talking to a woman about getting into motorcycling, she says something like, I don't really know how to get into it. And I turn them on to the MSF course. I tell them, you know, how to get started into riding motorcycles. That you don't have to go out and immediately buy one to decide whether or not it's for you. Take the MSF course. They loan you a bike. They teach you everything. They treat you as though you've never swung your leg over anything bigger than a Schwinn 10-speed. No, it's always guys that say, my wife won't let me buy a motorcycle. But guys, that's not really what you mean when you say that, is it? What you really mean is, I'm scared. And what is it that you're scared of? Well, that depends on you. For some guys, it's just, I'm scared of motorcycles. I'm scared of what's gonna happen if I don't know how to ride, if I go beyond my skill level. I'm scared of being that exposed at that speed, and that's totally understandable. It can be kind of scary. But maybe, just maybe, what you're scared of is the consequences for doing something that your spouse doesn't like. And here's the thing about that. If it's a thing that your spouse doesn't like, well then you have a decision to make. Because at that point you're weighing your happiness against their happiness. But if you being happy doesn't make them happy, then I have some questions about the health of your relationship. I had some misgivings about buying this Softail. I absolutely loved the bike, but I also knew that it was a big investment. And she was the one who said, you being happy makes me happy. If you buying this motorcycle will make you happy, then go and buy the damn motorcycle. And just in the same way, she had some misgivings about buying her Iron 883. She knew that we had a brand new Harley in the garage and was like, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable spending this kind of money. And she told me, it's your call. And I said, this is the motorcycle that you've fallen in love with. This motorcycle will make you happy. You being happy makes me happy. Buy the damn motorcycle. After all, you're only young once, and both of us really only have so much youth left in us. You can spend that time wanting the thing, or you can spend that time enjoying the thing. I know which one I'd rather do. And here's the beauty of us both having motorcycles. It gave us something to do together that we really enjoy doing together. It's not me going along with the thing that she likes or her going along with the thing that I like. I am passionate about motorcycles. She is passionate about motorcycles. We love motorcycles and we love riding motorcycles together. And having shared interests, pastimes, and hobbies is really important to a healthy and happy relationship. Now, am I saying, hypothetical viewer in a committed relationship, that if you go out and buy a pair of motorcycles for yourself and your significant other, that you're just magically going to have a fantastic relationship forever and you're never going to have any troubles? Of course not. That's stupid. Every relationship is always going to have problems. That's just a natural byproduct of living in close proximity with another human being. If they're their own person with their own personality and their own thoughts, then there's inevitably going to be some degree of conflict along the way. But man, having something that you can bond over together is just invaluable. And part of the beauty of going on couples motorcycle rides is that you can just sit there in silence with one another for hours on end. You're still enjoying the company, you're still enjoying the activity, but you don't have to directly engage one another. But if you want to make it more interactive and you want to be able to talk about things on the road while you're out there, you totally can. My helmet's got a Sena Bluetooth built into it, and down the road I'd like to get one for Madre Jefe. And if you've never used an in-helmet Bluetooth system, I gotta say, it's totally worth a try. You know, I've used this one on the road with my buddy Ryan a couple of times, and it's absolutely invaluable for things like, hey, I saw you caught that light back there. Take the next left and I'll be in the parking lot. Or, hey, I need to stop for gas. Or, hey, my GoPro's battery ran out, I need to swap them out. Even if you're just riding solo, it's fantastic to be able to play your music in your helmet. You know how technically it's illegal to wear earbuds while you're on the road? There's no such restriction on speakers in your helmet. You alright? That looked a little rough.
Later.
Alright, so we've gotten all gassed up and we're on our way out to Mississippi. And of course Madre Jefe is no longer in front of me. She asked me to take point. And in case you catch a glimpse of her in the mirror, way back there, just want y'all to know that that's her comfortable following distance. She's happiest at about 1/8 of a mile back. I'm sure she'll get more comfortable as time goes on, but I don't want to be the one pushing her beyond her comfort level because I want this to still be fun. And that's the important thing about this, is having a thing that we both enjoy. Not necessarily something that we do together, but something that we're both really interested in, because that means it's something that we can talk about when there's nothing else to talk about. Another great example would be D&D. She had been interested in Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. It was a thing that she was very curious about, but she'd never really gotten an opportunity to play. She had tried it with someone else before, and they just didn't make it a very fun experience for her. And so I suggested that she go down to Gamers and Geeks, which is our local nerd shop, and see about finding a group to pick up a game with. They have an enormous space in the back where they host dozens of games at a time. And I knew that if she just showed up and kind of wandered around for a while, eventually she'd find a group that she was interested in playing with. And sure enough, she went up there and she did in fact find a group of adults like ourselves, and that was fantastic. And I wasn't actually initially interested in having her play in my game. And not because I was trying to keep her out, but because I was anxious about the power disparity. I was concerned that the other players would feel that I was giving her preferential treatment. Or the more likely scenario, because of my DMing style, she would feel that I was being unfairly harsh on her. As a matter of fact, when the other players encouraged her to join our campaign, she told them, "You guys don't understand, he will kill me just to prove a point." And to her credit, she was kind of totally right. If somebody in one of my games thinks that I'm going to be easy on them just for who they are, I'm going to teach them a lesson. However, in my own defense, I haven't killed anybody yet. But to be fair, we're only like 3 sessions in, and my players have only dipped their toes into the pool of the story. And I want them to be truly engaged before I start throwing bad stuff at them. Whoop, whoop. But at the encouragement of the other players, she did in fact end up joining the party. And it's been a party. She's had a blast, I've had a blast, and honestly, I am really glad that she's been a part of it. And of course, I knew that if we could eliminate that power dynamic as a factor, that being us in a relationship versus us as DM and player, that we would have a fantastic time. I really like the way she thinks. She's a creative thinker and a problem solver, and that's my favorite kind of player. I really prefer that over people who just want to roll dice and kill things. So if you find yourself yourself in a relationship where you're drifting apart and you're finding that you just don't have anything in common, maybe try going out of your way to engage your significant other in the things that you're really passionate about. You never know, maybe they'll like those things too. Instead of looking at those things as a way to get away and hide from conflict, maybe you can look at those things as a way to bond and unite away from conflict. Because I can tell you without a doubt, if you're stressed in your relationship, so is your significant other. Escatawpa Baptist Church. Anybody remember 3 Doors Down? Yeah, this is the town they came from. All of this. Yeah, I barely remember him either. How you doing back there, babe? Looking good. Oh, I'm no licensed therapist. I'm not claiming to be some sort of expert. I've already been through a divorce and I've been through more breakups than Larry King. But I've been around for a while and I've learned some lessons, and this particular lesson, bonding over things like motorcycling, has been absolutely invaluable in keeping our marriage happy and healthy and fresh. And guys, if you want to buy a motorcycle, go get a damn motorcycle. Quit BSing everybody around you and yourselves by putting that off on your significant other, saying that they won't let you. That's not how this works. If you as an individual aren't happy, then you as a member of a couple cannot be happy.
Eventually.
Every time I cross this border, I just feel dirty. Yeah, I know, I live in Alabama, and it's really not that much better. But I grew up in Mississippi, and when I got out, I swore I'd never come back. So every time I cross that border, it feels like surrender. I actually tore up the highway ahead of her because I wanted to make sure that I was already boots on the ground when she pulled up, because I wanted to give her a proper reception when she arrived. This is a milestone. There she is. Madre Jefe, you just did it. You completed your first trip between states on a motorcycle. How the hell you feel?
My hands hurt.
I bet they do. Do you want to do the outro?
I'm Madre Jefe. This is a beautiful day. Thanks for joining me on my first real road trip. Peace.